Regular viewers of the channel have seen lots of upgrades on my personal property of recent times, from revegetation areas, of which we're in one, to multi-species crops running through the vineyard, to multi-species paddocks, and the dividing of paddocks to get rotational grazing going. There's been one element that's been missing to all of this that builds and adds fertility to any farm, and that's bees. Well, the wait is over, the day has come, it's time for me to get engaged in bees with Andrew from Australian Bee Supplies. They not only supply all your beekeeping equipment, they manufacture it and they train you as well. Andrew, I can't wait to get started on my very own hive.
Fantastic, Tim. I look forward to introducing you into it and showing you how it works.
So look out for regular updates, not only from Andrew's content, which occurs regularly on the program, but also from my personal hive as I go through a full season getting used to having bees on my farm. So Andrew, we're playing with bees. Whilst experienced beekeepers can get away without wearing their suits, for first timers like me, time to suit up, mate.
Absolutely.
If I can do that.
Yep.
Can't find my hood.
You'll be able to put it on. I'll give you a hand, give you a little bit of a hug as well. There
Oh,
we
isn't
go.
that lovely? I think that's why some people get into beekeeping.
There we go. So then we want to make sure that it's zipped up properly. So both your double zippers there. So that is all locked up, and then we've got the Velcro. Because any 5mm hole and the bees can make it through, but only if they're narky. If they're happy, they're not going to bother you.
All right, Andrew, so let's start out with the choice of beehive to begin with. We've got choices. We can either have these days plastic beehives or we can have timber. Now there's no danger of that plastic getting into the honey, is there?
Correct. All the plastic that gets used in beehives, or especially that we have, is food grade plastic, which means it's safe for food, honey, wax, all of them.
We've chosen in this case to go with timber because even though it's got less insulative capacity, it sort of blends into this natural environment a bit better, and we've got lovely shade from the trees. So it depends on your environment as to which one you choose.
Correct. It's a preference more than anything, but timber is more natural and it does look more natural. That's where the preference is. Plastic has better insulation qualities, so you can actually get higher yields.
Now we've got two different types of lids. We've got a gable lid that I could choose, or we've got the stacker lid. I've gone with the stacker, and there's a good reason for that, isn't there?
Correct. So these are called telescopic lids as well, and they sit over the top of the actual boxes themselves, which means that the water can actually flow over the top. It's much easier to tie these ones down with an M-lock. So these are the steel straps that we have, and M-locks will not move at all, as opposed to ratchet straps, which will stretch because they're nylon, no matter how tight you make them.
Well, we better start getting this box ready to accept the frames from the nuke. We're only going to use the bottom box, so let's start getting it undone.
Done. So in this bottom box here, Tim, we've already got 5 frames ready to go.
Yep.
Because a standard nuke composes of 5 frames. So it's called a 5-frame nuke.
Yep.
And it will have 5 frames, normally 2 frames of resources, so honey and pollen, and 3 frames of brood, babies, baby bees, as well as about usually between 5,000 and 7,000 bees to start off with.
Now I'm just going to make a note on the weather. It's very, very windy today, and it's not ideal for moving bees around at all.
Yep.
But you don't always get to choose your weather, do you?
That's exactly it. Normally you'd like to do inspections between about 18 and 24 degrees, but when you got to do something, you got to do it. And in this instance, we are here, we've got the nuke, and we have to do it. So whether it's windy, whether it's rainy, whether it's cold, when you have to do it, that's what you do.
Now the next step is to start smoking them, isn't it?
You got it. Let's get our smoker going first of all. After we get our smoker going, we'll smoke the bees, and then we can open up the nuke and transfer the frames from the nuke into your new, this is called a brood box. Brood box is where the queen lives and the babies live, and the honey super is where you produce your honey for consumption. So we'll put our frames from the nuke into the brood box. Normally we use dry pine needles as such. They produce what's called a cold smoke, which is much cooler for the bees, and it actually sedates them much better. We don't use eucalyptus leaves because they cause a hot smoke, and they can get a little bit more narky after that. You can also use, some people will use cardboard. I don't like it because it smells a bit. Hessian bags from coffee bags, they work quite effectively. But pine needles are free if you pick them up from under a tree, and they actually also smell quite good. So the first process of lighting a smoker, even in these conditions, is you can grab a piece of paper, light it and put it in your smoker. I prefer to just light the pine needles straight away by themselves. Whoop. There we go. And once they start lighting up, that's when you can put in a bit more. Give it a few puffs so it starts to take. And then, depending how many hives you're going to be working is going to be dependent on how much pine needles you put in. You can actually fill it up right to the lid, but we probably won't need to. Once you put your pine needles in, you want to give it more puffs just so the embers start to take. And you'll see that the smoke will go into a really, really white smoke. Here we go. So now you know that those embers have taken and your smoke is ready to work. So now you can put in close your lid, put your lighter away and start smoking your hives. There we go. So if you scrape off that wax from those frames, that is pure beeswax, so you'll be able to use that for making candles, lip balms, furniture polish. It's very, very useful. You don't need to smoke them anymore.
I'm just getting the girls off the wax.
Ah, yep.
I'm a softie.
You are a softie. We love our girls.
It just makes them go further into the hive, doesn't it?
Correct. Yep. What we want to do now is we want to crack the frame, so the end frame, and turn. That's it. And then up the other end. And then we can, just that one's sufficient, only one. And then put it in at the end, at the very end, that's it. And you can cantilever it. That's it. Now you can grab it with one hand. That's it. Now you're getting the hang of it, kind of. So hold that side, that's it, with your hand, and then the other one will come up. If it's been properly cracked, you'll be able to pull it out just with your hand. So you can grab the other side with your hand. Yep. And look at those little babies. So there's lots of brood there. There we go. There's lots of fresh nectar coming in, which is lovely. And we're putting them into our brood box. And we always put them in the same position as we had them in the nuke. Because that means that the girls won't need to do any extra work and they'll be able to continue, and the queen will be able to lay eggs and produce more babies. Yep. Look at all that fresh nectar there. That is beautiful. Oh, these girls are hammering it. They look absolutely stunning. Yep, number 2. And push it up. That's it. So now with that next frame, just use the other side of your hive tool and crack it, and then you'll be able to lift it without needing to cantilever it. That's it. So now they should be able to move. That's it. That's it. In we go.
Now the aim is to be really quiet and gentle while you're doing this, because it's not going to stir up the bees as much.
It won't stir them up. If you've got high quality bees and good genetics, they should be quite docile, so that's why I'm not particularly too fast about wearing a suit.
Yeah, you're standing off camera there, pointing it at me, not even wearing the suit properly.
Correct. Partially that's experience and partially that's stupidity as well, because they can turn around and give you a little tiny kiss, but they have to have a reason for it. And look, you got yourself stuck there. All right, so we've got one too many frames, so we'll pull out a frame here. That's an extra one. That's it. Now you're getting it. The more times you do inspections and play with the bees, the more confident you will become and much easier to actually put them in and understand what's happening.
Now, despite the really high winds that we're experiencing today,
Yep.
these bees are not really getting stirred up, are they?
Now, they can get a little bit narky in windy conditions and really hot, but again, it comes down to quality of bees. And I'll show you what to do with the rest of the bees here. I'll give you the camera, Tim. So these are the rest of the girls, and you have to remember that they are, whoa, they're tough as guts. So what we do now is, because we want all the bees to go inside the brood box.
That's a bit rude.
That is a bit rude, but they don't mind, see? If they minded, they would come and give me a big kiss. Okay, so now what we do with the rest of the nuke is same thing. We turn it upside down. And then if you've got the nuke like that and there's still some bees, we'll just put them to the side and they'll all come inside there. So now what we'll do is we'll put a propolis mat on. So this will just cover it and we can collect propolis. We put our lid on. Make sure it's nice and square. See, now they're getting a little bit narky.
Okay, so now I'm putting on the M-lock mat and we're going to put them to bed. So we go like that.
Beautiful.
Nice and solid.
Well done, Tim. That's your first beehive.
Well, Andrew, that's the hive set up. Now I just have to leave it alone and let them settle in for 2 weeks, and then I do my first hive inspection.
Absolutely. You'll be able to see that they've been expanding, whether they've got honey, pollen, and how they're actually developing. So every 2 weeks during spring and summer is an ideal way of making inspections with beehives.
And we'll go through what I'm looking for in those inspections on the next video in this series, mate.
We certainly will. Look forward to it.
All right. Guys, if you want to get into beekeeping and you want a fantastic company to deal with, get on to Australian Bee Supplies. And I'm getting out of here because that wind is about to break the camera.